To fix your penis, you need nitric acid.
People of YouTube, lovers of CoryxKenshin, unfortunate events have unfortunately led us to the point where we are right now. Now, MavAttack, YouTuber, friend, now unfortunate foe of millions, and I mean millions of people. We recently got 2, maybe 3, I believe, videos of MavAttack pretty much defending CoryxKenshin's so-called abuse victim. So we're gonna check that out. It's unfortunate. I feel like this will most likely be an unfortunate encounter because it's most likely coming from a place of betrayal, sadness, jealousy, and simply attention. So let's check it out. Mav, man, what happened, bro? Why would you do this to your previous brethren? It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. Damn, he's been gone for 2 years and then put up just to talk about CoryxKenshin impact?
What?
Was that funny? Is that funny? Like CoryxKenshin impact? I'm sorry. It's true. Let's just see. Actually, it's only 2 videos. I want to check out. Let's see the first one because, I mean, the first one is kind of long. I feel like I should have just even like talked about. And wow, look at his post. He said 100 videos. That's a diss. If you watch CoryxKenshin, you know that he said he wanted to make 100 videos simply because of the fact that his schedule has been garbage, and he came back from a year, pretty much a time skip, to be honest. Bro had full hair, looking like a whole madman. When he came back, I swear to God, his hair was all over the place, and he dropped a new freaking manga. It's crazy. Now, before we even start this video, I feel like I should give like what I feel about MavAttack, because let me tell you something about Mav, bro. Let me tell you something that nobody like realizes about Mav's current situation. I don't know how to say this. It's not secret. He obviously said this in a video which I caught like years ago. It's like why Cory and I are no longer friends type of video. He was just mad and sad. Mav has had his channel for a while now. I don't really know how long. I don't really follow or watch his videos, which is unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to actually get to know this nigga a little bit better. I'm open to some YouTubers in a way, but I gotta say, like, Mav made a video about maybe 2 years ago or so, maybe 3 years ago, as I remember. He was talking about how like he and Cory are no longer friends simply because of the fact. Well, I mean, not simply because of the fact, but one of the major reasons why, not one of the major reasons, I can't say for him, was because like it was hard making a channel where the only viewers were people simply asking about CoryxKenshin's whereabouts. It's like an artist creating a beautiful Russian statue, amazing work, but then people are going to that statue and looking for signs of Da Vinci's return. It's horrible. As a YouTuber, I can't say I understand because nobody comes to my channel asking about, hey man, where's the other guy that you were collabing with? Where's that guy? Where is he at, bro? Tell us where he's at, or else we're not gonna watch your videos no more type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never experienced something like that, so I will never know how he feels. But it's depressing. It's gruelingly disappointing that you put your blood, sweat, and tears into something that you believe that somebody on earth would find entertaining, only to be cocked block by fans who you should pretty much have no relation with on your own channel, asking about somebody else who left them hanging for months, which is unfortunate. That's why I feel for Mav. So in a way, his anger is justified in a certain sense, but to go around talking about my response to this whole situation, I feel like you shouldn't have jumped on it, even if he was your old friend type shit. Maybe he does have something to say, because there's always every side of the coin. You might not know, like I might be a crazy dude in real life, but I might have an image I need to keep up so I don't look bad on the internet. But there's inevitably going to be bias, you know what I'm saying? I pray and I hope that they are sensible MavAttack fans and CoryxKenshin fans who don't escalate this beyond what it needs to be, because these are two, well, I can't say two great YouTubers, you know what I'm saying? Inspire your own opinion. I like CoryxKenshin videos. They're entertaining to me. I don't really know why I like them. I just like them. They're really entertaining to me, but I don't really watch a lot of MavAttack. You know what I'm saying? I've only watched like 1 or 2 of his videos and I didn't seem quite drawn to it, but maybe another day or some shit. But we're just gonna check this shit out. It's unfortunate because like I don't think I would ever do this to a friend that I don't talk to at all. I mean, I feel like, yeah, they could have talked this out, but the way they are, they can't even talk to each other. Probably one is not picking one other person's phone call or somebody else, you know what I'm saying? They're just out of contact now.
So I text Cory. A lot of people said that I should reach out to him instead of bringing this on the internet.
Damn, dude, my shit can only run in 144 right now.
I text Cory. A lot of people said that I should reach out to him instead of bringing this on the internet. Why didn't you reach out to him? Why didn't you contact him to clear the air? Why didn't you guys hash things out like adults? And I gotta say,
probably can't even talk with each other.
All the comments say, like, you guys are right. So I'm going to call him now and clear things up on camera once and for all.
I'm not even sure. Yeah, this nigga.
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Well, yes, you guys are answering for him.
It's unfortunate, but it's reality.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back.
Before we even start this video, I would just like to say to any CoryxKenshin fan that's watching this, please do not obsess over situations like this. These are people living regular, irregular lives that have zero connection to you. So whether you care about CoryxKenshin or not, if this situation is true, I don't know how to say, but if it's sad, but it's reality. Not everybody's perfect. If it ain't true, it doesn't change anything. Don't go out like, I don't know how to say this. Every human could be mad and sad about certain situations, but they are still humans at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that he did this though, but hey, let's just check out what he got to say.
Something that was a very serious topic, a very serious statement and discussion was not only not taken seriously, but I feel like most of you didn't even get past a couple minutes into the video.
That's the fact.
Alternative title, grown man has a normal life and I'm jealous of that. That's an interesting thing to bring up. There's a lot of comments in here that say, oh, all you revealed was that Cory is just a normal person. He's just a regular everyday man. Which is interesting because none of you fucking treat him like one. I love this one. Grown-ass man making a whole...
I hate to say it, but that's kind of true. Now, there's one thing I do want in a YouTube community, and that is easily a loyal fan base. If I have that, I'm alive, okay? I'm free. Pretty much, I can do whatever Cory does, and there will be no repercussions to it. You know what I'm saying? Not that they should be. You know what I'm saying? It's just how it is. It's the reality of the situation. But unfortunately, people do kind of take it a little. I mean, not even a little, a lot too far. It's great that it doesn't go into the whole dream sexual ass situation. Like, that's great. But I feel like people really do treat this guy as like a god or something sometimes. You know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, he got his own life to live. And like, Cory has been doing this for years. You know what I'm saying? So I don't expect him to be as passionate as he was before. So blazing into that like level is crazy. But it's hard to say that he doesn't deserve the amount of respect he has. He's like one of, if not the most popping black YouTuber of like YouTube ever, aside from like KSI or some shit.
Whole video about another grown-ass man's life. Grown-ass man making a YouTube comment on the...
Hold on, man. These niggas are making way too much noise. These people should be reported and deported.
Grown-ass man's video about the grown-ass man's life. Grown-ass man. So basically, because Cory cusses sometimes, can't even spell his name right, you have no respect for this man. You can't even spell his name properly. Sometimes and goes through issues with his family like a normal person. Bro's the devil. Like, again, is he a normal person or is he the Shogun? These comments were great too. Grown-ass man reading from a scripting. Shut up, dumbass. This video is a mockery to women that suffer real emotional abuse, by the way, not toxic relationships from 10 years ago. It's actually insane that you're looking at a case of emotional abuse, but then you're also saying that this is a mockery to actual emotional abuse. It's hand in hand. How is it mocking itself? Are you fucking dumb? You came back to slander Cory's name? Are you serious? You're a grown man, Mav. This is disgusting.
Yo, y'all bring out another type of freaking. At this point, I might as well just actually go to the real video, because this is actually mockery of his video. They're just going crazy on this nigga talking about grown ass man. Grown ass man can make a video about another grown ass man. It doesn't change anything. You guys watch grown ass man make a lot of grown ass man videos.
Welcome to the video. My name is Angelo, but most of you know me by MavAttack or Mav. I've seen some alarming evidence these past few weeks, and I'm speaking in support of the victims who have recently come forward about some concerning behavior regarding a previous friend of mine who a lot of you may know as CoryxKenshin. Cory and I met in 2014 and soon after became best friends for years until I cut ties with him in 2023. In March of 2023, I released a video on my channel explaining a few of the reasons why he and I were no longer associating or going to be doing collaborations anymore, as I thought I was done creating videos for a few years but wanted to return to the MavAttack channel. The video was met with a lot of love and appreciation for my contributions to our numerous collaborations throughout the years, as well as listening to my story and experience being best friends and business collaborator with one of the biggest creators on the YouTube platform. The response, however positive, brought a wave of harassment and toxic behavior to my comments, even going so far as to target my wife's social media accounts and the accounts of anyone looking to speak out in support of me simply expressing my truth. My video wasn't intended to badmouth or run a smear campaign against Cory, and in fact, I mentioned how I believed he was still a good person at the time. In the video from 2023, I mentioned details such as how I never cared about what he gained from his success, and I just wanted to enjoy time with the person I connected with before his channel truly blew up. I also expressed frustrations at the time and vented to a friend of mine who Cory had a previous fling with about how Cory wasn't interested in speaking publicly about people harassing his close friends and family during his long content breaks. This friend of mine at the time would post about Cory on a gossip website while mentioning me by name, which I felt I needed to come clean to Cory about. He forgave me for it. I just wanted to be free from the public thinking we were still close and hounding me, even up until that point, about where Cory was. While there were positive comments, I dealt with numerous forms of harassment. Harassment that included insults, threats against my safety, and even claiming that I was a white man trying to weaponize sympathy against a black man, which, if you knew me, you would know that I'm an ethnically ambiguous person of color. In my experience, this was an attempt to try and invalidate my identity, trauma, and personal experience as an individual who isn't afraid to be vulnerable and allow my emotions to come through regardless of the public perception. The same harassment I dealt with in the 2023 video is the same harassment I spent years dealing with prior, trying to make a business and name for myself, all while dealing with personal issues and being bombarded by comments harassing me about when Cory is going to return from one of his many lengthy breaks from YouTube. Part of my issues with Cory that were communicated and shut down by him were when he would step away from YouTube without updating his obsessed audience. I'd then reach.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. They obviously gonna have to bring a race into this. It's crazy. And like, you know, I always wondered, like, this is nobody's fault. I just gotta say, if you're gonna leave for a stupendous amount of time whilst you have a crazy amount of following, maybe give them updates. Because as you can see, this is the consequence of that. You gotta give them updates, man. You just have to. You got a post system on YouTube. You got Instagram. You got Twitter. Just say something so people know you're alive, you know? Like, that's the flaw that I see in his long breaks, because he literally goes AFK. He's gone. Like, he pretty much, his internet dead. Like, Cory's like internet dies for months. And previously a year, which I don't really know why he does something like that. You can't beg him out for him, you know what I'm saying? You can't beg him out for his reasons. He can have his reasons, but like, it doesn't still change the fact that your disappearance affects a lot more people than just your fans or yourself. You have friends that could potentially get harassed from this, which is unfortunate, you know? It's just the reality of the situation. It's sad. It's way more than unfortunate to the friends. It's just straight up annoying. Like, I'd be mad if somebody else was asking me about my homie that was successful making YouTube videos all the time for years. just because the nigga left is disappointing.
Out to ask him if he could post on social media saying he's okay and to leave his friends and family alone, which would always conclude with him saying that's just how he is. He was going to do what he wanted regardless of how much it would hurt the people he claimed to love and care for. A couple common misunderstandings taken from this video were that I never communicated with Cory about his breaks and the harassment I was facing, and instead posted it on the internet, when in reality, I spoke about it with him multiple times throughout the years, even expressing it in YouTube videos, which are all up on my channel. The public wanted to run with the narrative that Cory was the one who cut off the connection with me, when in fact, I was the one that cut ties with him because I had enough. I was the one who decided that the friendship no longer served my best interests, and I distanced myself with him for good, instead of allowing myself to remain at arm's reach. I had also mentioned in the video, which was set to private only a few days after it was posted, due to it reaching nearly an overwhelming 700,000 views, that I held frustrations towards him for taking parts of my creative ideas in my videos, which I felt he was using to help further establish and push his own personal brand. This issue was brought up to Cory during one of our last few times speaking on the phone, which he admitted to doing and apologized for. I wasn't the only person who not only fell victim to the ravenous fanbase that CoryxKenshin had accumulated, but also, from my view, the neglectful and unempathetic person that Cory is behind the scenes. Cory's brother, Certified AK, posted a YouTube video back in 2020 titled The Truth, where he expressed his sadness and disappointment and lack of motivation to enjoy creating YouTube videos due to an invasion of comments asking for Cory's whereabouts.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I texted my brother probably like 2 weeks ago, and I showed him all the comments, all the spams I was getting on my channel, and I'm just put in the video of what he said, guys. And honestly, I already knew he was about to say that. I already knew. I just texted him and told him just to see if he was aware. I already knew he was going to say. That's my brother. I've known him all my life, 16 years. I've known exactly what he was going to say.
The reason I've brought up this video in particular is that in the first few minutes, Certified AK discusses Cory's hiatus and proceeds to mention how he texts Cory asking for help, and Cory told him that it's not his responsibility to address Certified AK's community, which I personally believe mostly came from Cory, and that it happened to Mav, and it's especially gonna happen to you.
Look, this is what I'm saying, man. This is exactly. I feel like I'm going around in circles, but it really be the fans. It really be the fans, dude. Y'all do whatever y'all want on the internet without actually realizing how much this hurts people. It's unfortunate. It really is. It's crazy. Cory's success has become a burden to the people around him simply because his fans don't want to keep like their meat in their pants. It's crazy. I felt like this. Okay, I felt like this is the case for a lot of people for a while. Like, really, ever since I watched that MavAttack video, I'm like, bro, there's no way. It's not just Mav. There are definitely a lot more people that get this problem, which is sad. It really is. It really is. The thing is, he's kind of addressed situations like this before, but it doesn't change anything. It really wouldn't. It just can't. It's like, yo, let me tell you something, guys. There are other YouTubers out there that you can watch while Cory is gone. If he's not posting, the world isn't going to end. Why do you have to ask people minding their own business, doing things that they believe will make a name for themselves while also bringing revenue for their family, go out of their way and start spam querying them on a person that has been AFK? They don't know. They're focused on their life. They don't really think about stuff like this when they be talking like this on the internet. It's unfortunate. It's kids though. It really be kids, because I don't see any grown person pulling up to another person's YouTube channel like, hey guys, I've been seeing Cory for a while. Where is he at? I'm sure you'll be known. I'm pretty sure you should contact him and ask him where he's been at for the past 1 year. It's unfortunate. And when you say something like this, it always comes up as hate. As you're riding this nigga's dick, bro. I swear to God, I just asked you one question, man. You can't even answer that. You pissed off, man. You're a grown ass man talking about another grown ass man. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate. But guys, really, look, I love CoryxKenshin too. It hurts me sometimes when he's on hiatus. I'm not gonna lie. Like I've been waiting on that puppy playtime, and more especially Amanda the Adventurer 2 for him to play it. But I watch other people play it too. You know what I'm saying? There are other YouTubers that are extremely entertaining to watch. It shouldn't be your problem nor your business if somebody from the internet vanishes. It doesn't make any sense. This is obsessive behavior. It should never happen. It should never be to the point where you are harassing somebody else. It's really sad because it's really coming from the point of anger, but nobody sees that because they're blinded because they love Cory so much. And this isn't even Cory's fault too. It's the fans. It's just the fans, man. It's unfortunate because Cory is not supposed to be addressing things like this because he's not in control of the people that are doing this. But the fans, they just don't want to listen. They just don't care. They just want what they believe is theirs. Their glorious king type shit. It's unfortunate, man. There's nothing you can really say to people like them. And it's not exactly young people too. It's just like, guys, as a collective, please, just don't do this anymore.
Knowing that I was one of the closest people to Cory while dealing with
the same harassment Cory,
as
man.
another
this is crazy.
helped validate all of the anguish I had endured. However, I find it disgusting that this behavior and harassment had to happen to a minor at the time. My wife, Lady Plague, who previously went by Rolam, was also subjected to numerous forms of harassment, such as degrading her character and career, and even receiving death threats for simply speaking out in support of my experiences. I was frustrated that others were being just as affected as me, and in hindsight, it would have been easier to stop collaborating and cut ties with Cory earlier on, but when you believe things with your best friend are good, and you're working side by side together, it's hard to see the bigger picture and easier to tolerate the harassment. Once the internet was done reacting to my video in 2023, I thought that was the end of it. Regarding the recent assertion that came out from an ex-girlfriend of Cory's, I would like to first start off by saying I'm extremely saddened and hurt to hear that there are not only friends and family, but romantic relationships which were also impacted by Cory's selfish behavior. Recently, Panda Ninja, who was an ex-girlfriend of Cory's, spoke out about her time being with him on and off through the years from 2016 onward, providing videos, screenshots of text message conversations, and her perspective of their time together. I met Panda in August of 2017, where myself, Panda, and Cory all spent time in person. Not only did I meet Panda, but I got to see her and Cory's chemistry around each other. Based on my own personal conversations with Cory and my time around both him and Panda, I believe her account and confirm that the messages align with what I witnessed.
Hold up. I want to see if I can risk 720 right now. My internet is us, but I must survive. I gotta do it, guys. It looks like shit.
I can confirm that the screenshots she provided when telling her story are in fact true, and Cory's behavior and language seen in the text messages are in fact real. Not only are they real messages, but what wasn't publicly shown in the text thread mentions my name as one of the people
things like this is just embarrassing to see, bro.
Panda's relationship
hold on. No worries, you have a right to ask whatever, say whatever. It was never anything you did at the peak of whatever I had going on. I'm sure I loved you. Did anyone else know how you felt? A few friends, Mav for sure, but that was it. They always cheered on us on. I just had half my body in the pool and the other half out. Okay, with the pen. Let's see. Anyways, I stayed up all night, so I'm going to head to bed now. Glad you seem to be doing better. We can talk more if you want. Number hasn't changed. Speak soon. X. Alright.
Once Panda's story blew up online, she faced multiple forms of harassment, such as doxing, and even received death threats for simply expressing her truth. Her story wasn't what many people claim to be a nothing burger, making videos disingenuously presenting Panda's story, showcasing a lack of care for a very serious circumstance. In Panda speaking out, she set forth the openness and strength for others with similar stories to step out of the shadows. Shortly after Panda's story circulated, another woman reached out to Panda with more proof of Cory's terrible behavior with women, disregarding personal boundaries, and even going so far as to have close friends keep tabs on what these women were saying and doing on their social media accounts. In 2015, I received a YouTube DM from a woman who was close friends with Cory at the time, asking for clarification about their friendship, wondering if there was more of a romantic interest by the way he would speak to her. I couldn't provide any clarity though, and I didn't think much of it at the time. A few years ago, she replied to a YouTube comment on her channel, updating someone about her and Cory's friendship, and stated that they weren't friends anymore due to him believing what a fan said about me and yelled at me for being a terrible person. Another person who I believe is a victim in all of this, who, out of respect for her privacy, I won't mention by name, is a woman I met early on in Cory and I's friendship, who happened to be a long-time on and off high school girlfriend of Cory's. In between all of his questionable relationships with women, it seemed to me there was always someone he could fall back on. I recall one situation where Cory had a random woman come out to his house, when his girlfriend came over unannounced and awkwardly found Cory and the woman in his bedroom. This is just a subtle glimpse into how Cory treats his relationship with women. In my view, Cory often disregarded the emotions and boundaries of people around him, especially women, treating relationships casually and selfishly. I felt the need to write a statement to help further validate the victim's experiences, and in my experience, this was psychological manipulation and emotional abuse. It's been difficult to reconcile the public image you've built, one centered around faith, morality, and Christian values, with the private behavior I and others have personally witnessed over the years.
Bro, I'm just thinking about this. He really gonna have to address this when he comes back. He ain't posted in like 2 months now. He doing it again. He really gonna have to address this. This is not no small matter anymore. He beat the allegations, but they're back, pretty much. I'm gonna look at this at face value because, you know, I don't really know what the hell's going on in his life. This might be truths, this might be lies. I have faith that he isn't going too crazy, but you will never know the Cory IRL, you know what I'm saying? That's just a reality of the situation.
There's a deep disconnect between the public persona you've cultivated and the conduct I observed in private settings. Utilizing a family-safe brand image to attract children and people who may not know any better is disgusting in my eyes. I believe all you care about is yourself and protecting your brand image. I don't believe you care about your audience, and I sure don't believe you care about your friends or your family. This isn't about trying to dirty Cory's name, because I believe he's done that himself to anyone who has ever seen past his facade. This video isn't about clout or trying to build or gain anything from his name or platform. There was a point in time where I truly thought Cory was a good person, but as time has gone on and more people have received personal traumas due to his actions, I felt I needed to speak. Mental and emotional abuse are very much a real thing that is typically not taken seriously by society at large, especially when it comes from a woman's voice. Just because someone isn't physically abused doesn't mean we get to take the victim's voices lightly. What I have personally witnessed—
That is true. That is true. Don't just scoff at it because it existed and like you believe somebody is perfect. Don't scoff at it. Hear them out. Try to prove them wrong or right, who knows, and then go on with your day. But like I said, this really doesn't have anything to do with anybody.
The last text Cory sent me mentioned that he was hopeful to change and repair things with his mother because the same anger he had towards me, he held against her.
What? He buckled up with this shit, bruh. Holy shit, he brought her on. Last text I realized I never forgave you for it. I thought I did continue to dialogue with you and gaming with you a few times. I truly did not. Forgiveness is not continuously treating someone like they wronged you. You inadvertently taught me that, and moving forward in this life, I would take this lesson. I went through a lot of shit with my mom, and I kind of do the same to her. I felt like she never really answered for actions against the family, but holding on to that anger, the same anger I was holding on to against you, has only deteriorated those relationships until this one decayed completely. I still need to work on myself. We all do. You were my best friend at one point in time, and I will cherish you for times forever. I will always have your back, never badmouthed you to anyone, loved you like a real brother, and will continue to see what you're up to from time to time, and hopefully our paths will cross again. Alright. Unfortunately, that ain't the case right now.
And maybe their relationship wouldn't have to decay the same way ours did. Not only do I believe that you haven't changed, but from my perspective, you continue to misuse the influence you've been given, taking advantage of situations and people when it suits you. In my experience, your behavior has followed a deeply harmful pattern that echoes emotional and psychological manipulation, all the while being enabled by the ones so dedicated to keeping your name in a good light. You've given millions the false impression that you're a man of God and that you're a beacon of light, and from my perspective, the culture surrounding your platform mirrors the harm I believe you've caused behind the scenes, reflecting a pattern of disregard towards women, close friends, and those who once trusted you, including myself. Cory's fanbase has at times engaged in patterns of misogynistic harassment, particularly towards women and those who speak critically or share personal experiences. While creators can't control every follower, the absence of public acknowledgement from Cory has contributed to a climate where this behavior is often left unchecked. In my experience, this is a massive—
I know we saw that he was reading through his script, but for him to write this down, shit is serious. Like, I make Boruto videos. If I feel the need to write something down and not say it into the mic directly, it's gearing. Like, I got something in there, bro. I just have to let out in the most articulate way possible. For me to write something down, hell yeah. Nah, something's definitely wrong. There's errors that needs to be fixed. This is not, I can't say it's normal, but it's kind of normal to have problems like this. But it still doesn't excuse the fact that people need to change one way or the other. Maybe he really hasn't uploaded because of this.
A social problem.
It's really
and
falling
Cory's
right
fan
now.
base is a huge example of the lengths people will go to defend someone they know absolutely nothing about. I also do not fault Panda for reacting the way she did after her experience was shared. People who are on the outside looking in will never truly understand the attention and scrutiny you'll face when dealing with a massive slice of the internet, especially when speaking your truth about a large figure in that space and how easy it is to spiral, causing one to potentially change information on their account, hide content, or even deactivate altogether. You can't know how to handle or manage when you're going through that constant pressure, especially if you've never experienced anything like that, which most of you have not. I followed a similar pattern as Panda with my 2023 video, not knowing how to handle all of the voices and opinions from the public at large, feeling isolated, alone, and lost. Something that big can cause you to not think and just act due to the shock of circumstance and how much of an impact your words may have. Large platforms should be utilized to help the world, not be kept quiet.
That's true though, because I really do think to myself, if war is coming to me on a social basis, like, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna say? Okay, just imagine this scenario. I get caught with like a 12-year-old or some shit. Apparently, I get caught with a 12-year-old texting someone like a 12-year-old or some shit like that. It's just a scenario. Let's hope it doesn't go by in the future, bro. And it's probably like my cousin or something. But people take it the wrong way. I'm talking to a minor like this, oh boy. Like, what am I going to say? What am I going to do? Even if I clear the air, there's still problems. And there will definitely be haters that will just put more gas or like fuel into the fire. It's unfortunate. The internet is no place for feelings, man, sometimes. It really isn't. It's no matter how much you really feel about somebody, and especially somebody that is loved to the extent that Cory is, like, you can't talk about him in a bad light because nobody will believe you. I don't exactly want to believe that Cory is the person that they are showing him as right now, but it's not impossible. You know what I'm saying? It's not impossible that he has certain bad traits. It's not unredeemable, but they exist, apparently.
I want to address one last thing about my video from 2023. A lot of people tried to push the narrative that I was jealous of Cory's success, or that I was a clout chaser. From everything I've seen, that couldn't be further from the truth. Panda showed me a conversation she had with Cory. He was spending time with Dashi, a close friend and collaborator of his, and brought up how rich Dashi is, how he wasn't as rich, while also being annoyed that Panda admired Dashi. To me, that was revealing. It suggested that instead of being confident in the friendship, he compared himself to someone close to him and turned it into a point of tension. I bring up Dashi for two...
I'd probably still do that too, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm low-key exposing myself for this, but there is a strong possibility that if me and my friend blow up, I will definitely compare our richness to that. You know what I'm saying? It's just...
He compared himself to someone close to him and turned it into a point of tension. I bring up Dashi
Nah, nigga, I definitely do that. I ain't gonna lie. My ex impressed about my homie's success? Hell no. I gotta do something.
Two reasons. First, because I've personally met and hung around him on multiple occasions. Second, because if I were close to someone who carried feelings of inadequacy into their friendships, I'd want to know. From my perspective,
yeah, but it doesn't necessarily need to be like this is the one way I'd probably like disagree a little bit. It's just opinion, but like, is it really like that? Like, is it really to the point of, what do you say? I don't do it.
I met and hung around him on multiple occasions. Second, because if I were close to someone who carried feelings of inadequacy
or whatever, like, I don't know how to say this. It's probably not exactly inadequacy. It's just comparison. Just imagine your girl, or maybe your ex, is impressed about your homie's way of living because he's richer or some shit like that. you'd be kind of pressed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'd be kind of pressed. It's kind of human nature. Maybe it's because I'm come from Nigeria or some shit, but I feel like I'd probably be a little concerned about it too. At least the current me, that is.
Their friendships, I'd want to know. From my perspective, Cory sometimes leveraged his relationship with Dashi in ways that felt unhealthy. It wasn't just casual name dropping. It came across like he was using it to provoke Panda, to test her, even to create arguments. The effect was that even something as
that is just simple immaturity, which I can easily understand.
Simple as a birthday wish could turn into a conflict. In my view, that shows a pattern of emotional manipulation, not for connection, but for control. That's why I believe it's important to talk about. Because when you see someone consistently using situations or people to create distance instead of closeness, that's not just insecurity, it can be damaging to the people around them. I was never jealous of Cory's success. Jealousy isn't telling Cory's community off while still wanting to work with and enjoy my time with him because he was my best friend, even though I hated the toxicity of his community. I believe wanting to see the fruits of my hard work and labor day after day is not being jealous. I was never jealous of Cory. I'm taking this time to take accountability for not standing up for women because in the past, I was ignorant to them seeking help regarding Cory. Moving forward, I'm no longer letting those voices remain silent. I want to make it very clear that this statement is not an attempt to slander, defame, or cause harm to Cory. This is a statement rooted in my own experience, observations, and in support of those who've been affected, which is being shared in good faith and for the purpose of transparency, incitement of dialogue, and accountability. I felt manipulated by Cory's actions and emotionally harmed by how he treated me and others, and I believe that a public apology and acknowledgement is not only justified, but very necessary for healing. Thank you so much for hearing my voice. And now, standing side by side with me, here is Panda Ninja, who has a few things to say. Panda, I want to thank you so much for...
Oh boy, it got worse, guys. It got 10 times worse. We got no choice but to listen to her. Damn, she look like somebody's auntie. Like, she do the rituals and shit.
Your courage and you speaking out and presenting everything in your story.
See what she got to say.
The floor is yours.
Thank you, Mav. I'm Panda, also known as Panda Ninja, the one you mocked, misquoted, and tried to bury under your projections. Guess what? I'm still here. Surprised to see us in the same video? Yeah, we figured. Instead of letting strangers rewrite the story, we're saying it ourselves. Direct and unfiltered. Awkward, isn't it? You weren't ready for this. This isn't about canceling him. It's about accountability. Canceling erases people. Accountability forces them to face what they've done. If that feels like canceling, that's because nobody's ever held them accountable before.
Now, this is better than I expected. Now, they're not trying to defame the guy. They're not trying to say like Cory has been a literal asshole and we want him out of here. They're saying, Cory, you've done some crazy shit. You gotta acknowledge that and truly make amends. I'm not a perfect person. There would definitely be a time in my life where this would probably happen. Family, friends, fans. If I get the pleasure of doing that, it's just the simple... I get why people were saying this is like a normal thing, but it's simple accountability. Cory is not a normal person, bro. I gotta say, saying that Cory is normal is a complete misunderstanding. It's speaking volumes of how you don't understand how much he has actually impacted YouTube, okay? He has 22, I believe, million subscribers. This is 22 million, or at least an active 5, maybe at most 10 million viewers on him. Like monthly or, weekly or so. These are most likely 10 million active subscribers, that is, because not every subscriber is actually active on your channel. You might have 1,000 and get 200 views per video. But this is a person that's every action he makes will be multiplied by magnitude simply because of the strength of his fan base. Like, to say that he's a normal man living normal life, doing normal scenarios, is an understatement. You know what I'm saying? Because really every action he does and everything he will do on the internet is easily going to affect everybody around him, simply because of how rich he is. I mean, look at Diddy. okay, actually, I can't compare this situation to Diddy. Nah, Diddy is just, he went overboard. But all I'm saying is that somebody with a really high caliber can do this and make people faint. We're talking Michael Jackson levels right here. I mean, he ain't Michael Jackson level, but you get the idea. Cory's actions will be magnified by a lot. People that love him will defend him even if he kills somebody. And unfortunately, they're just talking out. It's kind of the case. It's like you somewhat hold resentment for his success, which may or may not be true, but also his success has causes other people to suffer because the people that love that he's successful don't like the fact that he's somewhat running away from that success in a way, which is him just going on random hiatuses. It's unfortunate, you know what I'm saying? But it's reality. You can't really say Cory's actions are normal anymore because he might be a normal person, but his life will never be normal because of the platform that he's created for himself.
It's the truth. He didn't need to put his hands on me to leave scars. He punished with silence. He messed with my head. Gaslit, love bomb, disappeared, then spun the story to make me look unstable. That was control. The way he treated me left me feeling mentally and emotionally abused. It wasn't just me. Others around him felt it too. Everybody swears they care about mental health until it's right in front of them. You can't claim to fight for it while weaponizing it against survivors. That's not support, and it's why so many shut up and suffer in silence. And no, I didn't post every detail. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It means I was protecting myself.
Is this chick from New York? This accent is really clean. I ain't gonna lie.
Also, y'all ran with some essay shit I never even said. Not once, not hinted at all. But because reading is hard and critical thinking is extinct, you turn your own fake headline into a whole narrative. I said he didn't do that. I repeated it. The fact I had to say it over and over proves you weren't listening. You were twisting on purpose. Just because it wasn't essay doesn't mean it wasn't abuse. Doesn't mean it didn't damage me. If that still doesn't click, you're not confused. You're willfully ignorant. And I'm not here to babysit anybody through common sense. Nobody told y'all to run like dumbasses making up storylines and believing lies. I don't owe anyone any updates. Especially not people who only show up for the drama. You don't want truth, you want content. And because I don't post on your schedule, suddenly I'm hiding or lying. Bitch, please. It means I'm not desperate for attention like the rest of you. The same people calling me a clout chaser are literally the ones posting shit for attention. Y'all made hate videos, ran your mouths, and tried to go viral off me, but somehow I'm the fucking problem. As if the damage you caused wasn't enough, then came the fake accounts. Thread after thread of lies, posts with words I never said, messages I never wrote. Some even claimed I edited conversations. Like, that makes sense. Y'all couldn't even tell the difference between Xbox and Discord, dude. Then you went and made a whole Xbox account, or maybe you just recycled the one you already had. Who even knows? Either way, the desperation was showing because nothing screams we've got truth like faking accounts and inventing posts. All that effort just to make someone innocent look bad.
I don't feel like continuing this video. I'm only 20 minutes in. Oh my god. Guys, it's gonna be a long thing for me to edit. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I get this is a serious situation, but it's serious for me too, okay? I gotta deal with this.
Strangers who knew nothing were pretending to be credible witnesses. They didn't solve anything. They just put his toxic fan base on display. And the funniest part, you call me weird, but nothing's weirder than strangers spending hours creating lies about someone they don't even know. You two, tell me again, who's weird? And the worst part, he chose to sit back and let it happen. This is the man who calls himself a Christian. He allowed harassment to happen in his name. He stayed silent while others did the fighting for him. And he built a brand on values he never lived by. Christian on Sunday, manipulator every other day. Tell me, what's Christian about that, fucking coward? And don't—
Damn, chill, bro. That was kind of unnecessary. But hey, if you're frustrated to that extent, maybe there's something going on.
Don't get it twisted. Bringing up his religion isn't crazy. He built that image himself, wore it like armor, used to sell himself as someone pure and untouchable. This isn't about belief. It's about behavior that never lined up with the values he claimed to represent. There's a difference. You don't have to believe me. Truth is, most of you never wanted to. You dragged me before I even had the chance to speak. And let's be real, nobody else came forward because they saw exactly how I was treated. They stayed quiet out of fear. And I can't blame them, really. When I went on lives to explain pushing through stress just to be heard, y'all ignored the words and clowned how I spoke. Like, that's what mattered. Let me spell it out for you since most of you clearly don't know me. Stress triggers medical conditions I live with. When my anxiety spikes, I stutter, always have, and I also deal with chemo brain, lasting side effect of cancer treatment that messes with memory and speech. That's why I chose to write. Even then, it wasn't enough. You guys complained, mocked me, you picked apart like my pain was entertainment, like I was nothing more than a sideshow for you to tear down. Some of you even said I was writing in poems. Let's be real. I write better than half of you stupid ass people anyway. Y'all just uneducated and just don't know how to do shit or read for that matter. I didn't do this for you. I did this for myself, for every person he damaged and tossed aside like they were nothing. You don't know me. You don't know who I've stood with, who I've buried pieces of myself for, or how deep the scars run from people like him. You don't even know the basics, my color, my food, my grind, my bloodline. Instead, some of you were ignorant enough to decide I must be white just because I'm light-skinned. Like somehow that would make it all less serious. Like the damage wouldn't matter if you could erase my culture out of the story. That's racism. That's ignorance. And the funniest part, you were so wrong. I'm a minority, Asian and Spanish. You tried to strip me of who I am just to fit your weak ass narrative. And in doing that, you proved exactly why stigma like this exists. You showed your prejudice out loud. Meanwhile, this coward parades around and bragging about how he likes Latinas. Like that somehow excuses the way he treats them. That's who you defend. That's who you idolize. Some of you are way too comfortable running your mouths with no actual knowledge, considering none of you were there. You don't know the full story. You don't know the people involved, but you swear you understand what I've been through. You've clearly never been doxxed, cyberbullied, and harassed while trying to process trauma in real time, just to be told you're doing it wrong. People expected me to know how to explain something I was still trying to process while being watched, doxxed, cyberbullied, interrogated, and judged the entire
it's
fucking
unfortunate.
time. It didn't owe y'all shit, because who the fuck are you? Were you in the bed with me and him? Were you there when we were on our excursions? No, you weren't. I chose to speak for myself and for anyone else who's going through it or gone through it. Y'all already acting like rabid dogs off of vague sentences. You think I'm giving you more to chew on? Be for real. And just so we're clear, he even said y'all need help. And no, that's not me defending him. It's just a fact, because this level of parasocial delusion is insane.
Yeah, I mean, he said it before. Like, y'all niggas be doing too much, bro. Like, you don't need to defend Cory for him. He has to do that himself, or else he's not going to be the man that you expect him to be. Or at least he's not going to be the man that you guys think he is. It's just a reality. Guys, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of get what she's saying.
Behind closed doors, though, he was still reaching out. He told Mav with a face palm that I contacted him, and he said to him, I wish she'd leave me alone, but I want her one last time. That's my red and white blood cells from bottoming out. Fever spiking to 104 for hours.
All right, Mav, I gotta hear what you say. See, I get what she's saying.
Wasted on.
If this video felt like a lot, it's because it is. The information presented here doesn't even scratch the surface. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching and hearing what Panda and I have to say.
Okay. Video current has a lot of things brought up if absolutely necessary. There are other people who have experiences with Cory but wish to remain private at this moment until they're comfortable enough to come out themselves. Alright, so that was pretty much the video, guys. How do you feel? I know most people that are gonna watch this video are probably CoryxKenshin fans. I mean, look at the comments right now. Look at the comments. Bro, rent must be due, like if you wanna get evicted or something. You are so weird for bringing Cory's family into this. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's really telling. It's unfortunate, but it's really telling that people aren't listening to what he just said. I love Cory. I mess with him. Oh, damn, baddie, for real? Goddamn, what the fuck is this? Oh, sorry, my bad, I got sidetracked. There's no way somebody will make a 42-minute video of straight bullshit. He got text in there. She got freaking medical reports. He had more text in there. It's like, dude, at a certain point, maybe this is actually kind of true. But does this make Cory a bad person? Because this is what you guys think he's saying. Nah, he's not saying Cory's a bad person. He's just saying he's unaccountable in a lot of ways, which is unfortunate. You know what I'm saying? Cory, you gotta pick your shit up if this is true. If it ain't, it's unfortunate that niggas a line on your name. But you're not here to defend yourself. So inevitably, people like this will always flood comments. Your previous best friend, even if you said you're gonna have his back for life, they're gonna disrespect your ex. Even if that's your ex, that's someone you loved before. I wouldn't let that happen to my ex, I can't lie. Like, you gotta be here to defend yourself. You gotta be accountable and account for this, at least in private. I know, like, there are plenty things that could potentially be the reason why this version of Cory is this version of Cory, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are plenty things that could be there. Family issues, you know what I'm saying? You did say you grew up a little poor and stuff like that, but like, you can't exactly use that as an excuse all the time. There are so many reasons I can't even say because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Family, friends, school life, maybe previous work life, plenty things that contribute to who makes a person. But inevitably, if we want to strive to be the best versions of ourselves, we just simply have to confront certain moments that were painful in our lives. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what to say, bro. It's unfortunate that these are the accusations on Cory's name, pretty much on his entire career, to be honest. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the nigga he's just a dude. I mean, according to this video, he kind of has like this somewhat immature mindset of dealing with certain things, which is like, bro, you gonna have to face them if these are true. I wouldn't like to take anybody's side in this situation. See, I mess with Cory. I hope everything goes well. I always pray for the best results because that's just a simple reality of the situation. I don't want Mav to be fighting with Cory. I don't want Cory to be fighting with family. I don't want Cory to be fighting with Zex. I don't want Cory to be fighting with anybody, nor Mav making a video like this. But this video came out for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Whether I did this for real or nothing, Cory has to simply defend himself. We can't have a say in this. This is somebody's private life. Hopefully it works out for the best of everybody in this situation. And apparently there are also private people in this, which is sad, but it is what it is. If you like this video for some reason, please actually like this video. Subscribe if you're new to the channel. Probably going to be posting more stuff. By the way, my next video is most likely going to be about the best and most underrated genre of music. In my opinion though, I'm not gonna lie. It is what it is. Cory, you got a lot of stuff to deal with, bro. I swear to God. Like, true or not, you gotta come out and deal with this yourself. These are the people that defend you. Like, this has to be the purest form of rage bait I've ever seen. Leave that shit out of this. Mind you, this lady is married. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people just saying stuff without actually saying stuff, which is unfortunate. All these comments are proving his point clearly, which is unfortunate. Y'all niggas ain't really thinking. You don't want to believe it because you are way too stuck in this idea of Cory being somebody in front of the camera. Look, people aren't always who they are in front of the camera. It shouldn't take away from who they are in front of the camera sometimes. It's like Kanye can be controversial, but his music is still great. It's just a personal issue, man. Cory has to deal with it. It is what it is. Like this video, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Damn, bro, I got a lot of stuff to edit. I swear to God.